So you're gonna start at the end?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We start with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And we send peace and blessings upon the Prophet, our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Good evening and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you everyone for attending today's talk. Jazakumullah khairan. And before we begin, it's officially been announced that it's already Ramadan. So may Allah grant us a successful Ramadan this year, and let's try our best to make this Ramadan the best Ramadan in our life. Moving on, today's topic is the purpose of life. The purpose of life. And the speaker today we have is Bro Firdous Wong. As our city is over with you, I'd like to pass the floor to Bro Firdous.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, today the response is better. Alhamdulillah. Of course, Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send our blessings and salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, brothers and sisters, in this entity, the topic of my talk today will be the purpose of life. So I would like to begin with, as usual, with the first question of the day. And then I will continue with two stories in order to make us understand about this particular topic. Now, the first question that I would like to ask every one of you, if you may, is that, imagining this, that you go to your car, you start your engine, and then you start to drive without knowing exactly where you want to go. Okay? Without knowing exactly where you want to go. Does these things happen sometimes? Yes? Yes, it does happen sometimes, but not very often, right? But most of the time, before we even go down to our car, if we have one, is that we have at least something in mind, the destinations, correct? You just cannot open up your Google Maps or your Waze and just open up without key in the destination, because it will bring you to nowhere. And it doesn't make sense for any ship to go to the open sea, to the oceans, and then they will just in the oceans and have no directions at all. Okay? So meaning, for every single thing, for every single creation, there must be a purpose. And therefore, the topic of today is the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? So I will give you two stories. Just now is a question, now it's two stories. Again, imagine this. One day, you went into a huge office. There's a lot of people. They are busy everywhere. MashaAllah. This is not the purpose. Okay. You went into office, and there's a lot of people, they are busy. They are busy running here and there, doing their things. Okay? Each of them, they are doing their own things. But on your page, on your desk, there are few instructions. Okay? There are few instructions. One instruction signed by so-called B, another instruction signed by C, and another instruction signed by I. Now, looking at everyone are busy and yet you're sitting on your desk and doing nothing. As a rational human being, what would you do? A rational human being, they know that, well, this is a working place, so definitely I need to work. But the thing is, what is my job, task? what is my job scope. But the problem is, right now, there are 3 different instructions on your desk right now. And then, without you asking, somebody come to you and say, hey bro, you're still sitting here, you should do this. Go to the pantry and prepare some coffee. Somebody come to you. But then come another one and tell you, hey bro, you should go to the photostat machines and photostat all these documents. Then another person says, hey bro, why are you still here? You should go out. Now, you have enough confusion when you have 3 different written memo on your desk, written by 3 different people, B, C, I, okay, and different instruction. And then you have some more people who come to you and say, and give you a different instruction of what to do. Now you get confused. Now, to solve these confusions, what do you do? What do you do? Will you sit there? I think it's too confusing. Better not to think about it. Just sit there and inshallah, God willing, by end of the month, the salary will be credited into my account, inshallah, by doing nothing. Will you do that? Well, we might say, no, I won't be doing that. But you know what? In this world, there are people who are like that. There are people who are like that. There are too many things to think about. There are too many confusion. For them, it's confusion. So therefore, for me to come out from confusion, practically, rationally, is to look for the answer of the confusion. So they should look for the answer. But there are some people who, they think, there are too many confusion, there are too many things to think about, I don't want to think, and just do my own stuff. There are people like that. But a rational person, when they have 3 different instructions written, put on their desk, and then came few more people and give different instruction, the thought process will be, wait. Who is this Mr. B? Who is this Mr. C? Who is this Mr. I? Which department am I in? Mr. B might be coming from human resource. Mr. C might be coming from the marketing department. Mr. I might be coming from the IT department. Wait. First and foremost, the thought process will be, wait, I'm here in this office, in this company, in this organization. What is my position? Which department I belong to? Right? If you are in the IT department, you do not receive instruction from someone from the marketing department because you're not the head of department. So rationally, what you're going to do is that, wait, I have to ascertain, do I have any head of operations, someone who is on top of me? Do I have any superior? Because only the superior have the right to determine what is your job scope. True? True? Just like you guys are the students here in University of Nottingham. Do you determine what you want to do, how you want to do, and then, well, just ask my lecturer to pass me? No. The lecturer will give you exactly what to do and how to do because they are the ones who are going to give you the passing mark. They are the one. There might be some other lecturers. I believe there's a lot of lecturers here. But you will not listen to the lecturers who is not part of your lecturers. So, the first story is that if you are in a company, suddenly you wake up and you are in a place and everyone are busy, the thought process is that you will look for who is the authority, which department that I belong to. The moment you recognize who have the authority, then you follow the authority. You follow the authority. Okay? Now, later I will explain to you why I'm telling you guys this story. Story number 2. 2022. Just recently, 11 March 2023, 11 March 2023. There is a organization, 150 people came to them and complained that they have lost 830 million in investment scam. 800 and how many? 830 millions, not 50. Yeah. Okay, 830 millions in investment scam. Now, brothers and sisters, investment scam, 830 million, 150 people, meaning some of them might be losing out for maybe 10 million because 150 people, if each of them only 1 million, it's only 150 million. But now you're talking about 830 million. I have no interest at all to know how on earth they got so much money. because nothing to do with me, right? But the thing is that, how on earth, when we already know that, well, there's a lot of scammer around us, but why people still fall into that? The question is, why people still fall into that kind of scam? You know what are the main characteristic or the criteria of a scam? Low investment, high return. Easy money. You do nothing, you put in the money, and that's it. Easy, right? And that makes people invest in that scam without knowing that it's a scam. Just imagine, brother and sister, if a scammer were to dress in a short, wearing a singlet, and come to you and talk about investment. Will you believe in him? He might be true, he might be correct. Will you trust him? You are like, investments, million ringgit return. Look at you, man. Look at you. You know what's the problem today, brother and sister? We learn that do not judge a book by the cover. But let's be very honest, how many of us buy a book because of the cover? We do. We will judge the intellectual of someone. The problem is, where do we get this idea and this principle and this formula that the truth depends on how you dress? I'm not saying that dressing is not important. Dressing is important. But the problem is, we have based on, well, if someone wears smart, with a tie, handsome, good looking, and they must be, real, for real. Now, just imagine, but today the scammer will come to you in a nice dress, promising you, sir, how much do you have? You're going to get this much of return. And in order, Bank Negara, our central bank, Malaysia Central Bank, have given few advice in terms of investment. When the investment seems to be too good to be true, okay, that is one of the red flags. Too good to be true. What is too good to be true? If the industry, if on average, people are talking about 8% return, if let's say you go for fixed deposit, it might be around 3 to 4%. Okay, maybe certain investment you might have 8 to 12. But if anyone were to promise you more than that, I'm not saying that must be a lie, that must be a scam, not necessary. But that is enough to trigger you to think, oh, hold on. If this is so good, why Mr. So-and-so didn't invest? If they're so good, the return is so good, why people still put the money in fixed deposit? Fixed deposit might give you, lower return. And high return. Number 2, easy money in a shorter period of time. Why do I share with you guys these two stories? Brothers and sisters, to determine the purpose of life, you should not look at how easy is the instruction to live your life. And every single thing that is being created, there is a purpose to it. The moment you recognize that you are in that organization and you have a superior, the thought process will be, well, I have a purpose here. I have to serve my purpose here in order for me to get my salary at the end of the month. So what is our real purpose? Let me bring you guys through the thought process. And again, I'm open up for corrections. Stand to be corrected. If you disagree with me, I'm fine with that. But please raise your hand and I'm ready to engage in a healthy discussion, because not necessarily that everything that I say you must accept. Because I encourage people to think. Now, brother and sister, what is the thought process? The thought process is, there is a purpose in life. It's no longer a question, do we have a purpose in life? We have a purpose in life. Anyone who say we have no purpose in life, now, basically, that is their purpose. When you have no purpose, that is your purpose. When someone has no principle, that is your principle. What is your principle? My principle is there is no principle. Just like in football game, what is your strategy? We don't have any strategy. And yes, that is your strategy, that you have no strategy. When you have no principle, your principle is that having no principle. Often we say that, He is a man who has no principle. He sells his soul to the devil where he do anything for money. He has no principle. Wait. Chop. When he willing to do anything for money, isn't it true that money is his soul? Isn't it that is a principle as well? Or we consider money the objective of having more money is not a principle. Right? So, every single thing, we as a human being, we have a purpose. But what is our purpose? Now, first, to determine the purpose, as promised yesterday, I will be sharing my personal journey as well. My personal journey might relate to you. You guys might can relate. Although some of you might be a Muslim, you might be a non-Muslim. It could relate to you as well. Just a bit of my background. Chinese. Okay, I'm a Chinese, still a Chinese, and will die as a Chinese. Because some people say that after I become Muslim, I become a Malay. So I don't know how. I still eat Chinese food. I still speak Chinese. Okay, it didn't change my race. Race is something that I cannot choose, and you cannot choose, and you have no right to choose. Who is your parents? You can't choose. What is your blood type? You cannot choose. Where you will be born? You cannot choose. There are things that you cannot choose. Where the things that you can't choose, that's mean that is not something that you can be proud of. But for me, I used to be proud of being a Chinese. Okay, how many Chinese here in the room? Okay, thank you. Again, bro, sis, okay, we have Chinese, so correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. We are being taught since young that we are proud being a Chinese because we are the Long De Chuan Ren. We are the descendant of the dragon. Of course, you guys are looking at what do you mean by Long De Chuan Ren? There's no subtitle here. Right? But the descendant of the dragon. But not only because of that, but because we are always being told that we have 5,000 years of civilizations. True? The great civilization, China, 5,000 years. Wow, being proud. Oh, you are Chinese, remember, who are you? Your root is Chinese. So I was like, okay, I know, I'm a Chinese. I know. Okay, so I'm proud. Today, do I still proud as a Chinese? Yes, I'm proud because God is the one who chosen me to be born as a Chinese. Okay? Now, I was born in a Chinese family. I'm the youngest of all. And I grew up and I went to national school, in which most of my friends are Malay. I tried to cut the story short, but since yesterday I promised you guys the uncut version, right? But unfortunately not half. But it's okay, I will still give you the uncut version. So please bear with me. I was home alone since at the age of 7. When I say home alone, meaning because my school is just a walking distance. A walking distance is like 100 meters away. So if the school starts at 7:30, I can wake up at 7:20. Okay? And you must know my style. I'm a lazy person. How lazy I am? I am so lazy that I will go to bed wearing my school uniform. So tomorrow I wake up, I brush my teeth, and I go. That's how late. Oh, of course. Bill Gates have said that if you want to get things done faster, you should hire a lazy person because they will be very creative in getting the things done very quickly. Okay, so I went to sleep. Basically, practically, I'm wearing everything. I'm wearing my school uniform. I'm wearing my school pants. I'm wearing my socks. I'm just get ready and go. And when I was young, I didn't comb my hair. Okay, so easy. Okay, low investment. At the age of 7, of course, please don't compare. I know at the age of 7, it's not something that, at the age of 7, what am I doing? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. At the age of 7, after school, I will go back by myself. I have my house key. I will go back. But for a lot of kids today, 7 years old is like you have everything get ready for you. But for me, it's not. Okay, I have to go back and clean the house. I have to mop. Okay, I have to wash the clothes. I have to dry the clothes. I have to fold the clothes. Okay, and I have to cook for 7 years old. Okay, tough life, huh? Tough life, yes. Because my father is a carpenter. My mom is also a hard labor as well. So school holiday, for some of you guys, might be school holiday, yay, balik kampung, yay, school holiday, go to holiday. No, for me, school holiday means that is an opportunity for me to earn an extra income for my pocket money. Because every day, for me to go to school, I have no pocket money. I have no pocket money. Okay? What do I have? Every day, my mom will prepare, 4 slices of bread. Every day, every day, every day. Okay? Don't ask, brother, doesn't your mom just cook me? No. Don't ask, it's every day. You understand every day? When I say every day, I mean every day. So I have to become creative in order for me to get food. I don't have money. And I'm looking at my friends eating nasi lemak, eating fried chicken, eating mee goreng, all that. But I just cannot go to the canteen auntie and say, auntie, can I give you the bread and give you nasi lemak? So I have to become creative. So I become a salesman since I was very young. I'm selling the idea that my bread is very nice to my friend, so they will buy me a nasi lemak in exchange. Okay, that is how sometimes I will get my bread. But of course, I will get my nasi lemak, I will get some other stuff. Okay, this is not lying. I'm just using my creativity to get the things done. So since I was very young, I'm home alone, so very independent. I can just go around the entire place, the entire town by myself with my own bicycle. Okay, with my own bicycle. Some of you might ask, where am I coming from? I was born and raised in a place in Kuala Lumpur called Jinjang Utara. Okay, for you guys who are not from Malaysia, you know where is Jinjang Utara? Jinjang Utara is a place a bit on the north from here. It's a very Chinese place. 90% or 95% are Chinese. Okay, there is a lot of Chinese there. So you can't. Even a non-Chinese can speak Chinese. So you can see how Chinese is the place. Okay, you can see how Chinese is the place. Now, then I started to. I didn't know that I have talent, so-called talent, to play football. So what do I do? One day I just have a kick around. And I found that, hey, I like football. And then from there, I never looked back and started to play football. And alhamdulillah, I was selected to represent the school team. We're nothing to be proud of, right? A lot of people represent school team. And then when I was 12 years old, I was selected to represent Kuala Lumpur under 12. Okay. And then when I was 15 years old, I was selected to play for KL under 15. And then in the same year, 1998, I was selected to represent Malaysia national team under 17. Okay, and then in 2002, I was selected to represent Malaysia football team under 21. Okay, don't look at my physical today, okay, please. I know you guys will be like, how can these guys represent Malaysia? Look at his physical. Yes, last time I have 6-pack, and because I love my 6-pack, you know, when you love something so much, you will protect it at all costs, right? Yeah, so I love my 6-pack so much, so I protect it with a layer of fat. So you get where I'm coming from? So I love it so much, you know, you will protect it. So this is why I protect it. It's forever will be there, inshallah. But why am I telling you guys this story? Because from there, you guys will know that in Malaysia, when you're playing football, generally, most of your friends, most of your teammates will be Malay. So I know nothing about Islam. I know nothing. Okay, I know nothing about Islam. I only know that Muslims pray 5 times a day. Muslims are not allowed to drink beer. Muslims are not allowed to eat pork. Muslims are not allowed to gamble. Muslim, what else? Yes, and Muslims have to cut. You know, cut? Circumcise. In Malaysia, they call it potong. Okay? Those are the things that I know of. So, what is the purpose of my life during that time? For a general Chinese, we have a certain purpose. One of the purpose is that when you were young, study hard, make sure you study, earn a good grade, go to a good school, and then get a good job or become a businessman, earn more money, then you are good. Right? Anyone can disagree? Okay? Well, that is very common. And what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is being good. But we are not told what is good. Just being good. Being a good person. Don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal. Okay, good. What do you mean by cheating? What do you mean by lying? I know, lying, how do you lie? But the thing is that there is no exact purpose. I was born as a Buddhist, but the thing is that I never learned about Buddhism. I only know about ritual. We have to do it. And the Buddhism that I professed last time was from Japan, Soka Gakkai, Malaysia. Okay, is founded by Nichiren Daishonin in the 16th century. Okay, so they have the HQ in Malaysia is very near here, just at Cheras Batu Sembilan. Okay, So 1998 Commonwealth, most of you are not born, right? 1998, most of you are not born. 1998 Commonwealth game, in the opening, there is like a human graphic, okay, where it's like a LED changing of when the country, each of the country coming in, there is a changing flag. So in fact, behind it is not electronic board. Behind is human graphic. And I'm part of the volunteers during that time. So I have a medal of volunteers for that opening ceremony as well. Now, at the age of 11, I still don't know the purpose of life. For me, it's like, come on, I think about purpose of life when you are 11, 12, right? When I was 11 years old, my grandfather passed away. So when my grandfather passed away, there is a certain ritual that is happening that, you know, the Chinese funeral, they have certain ritual, they will call the monk, they will call the scholar and come and recite something. And sometimes they recite in a language that you don't understand. Okay? That I personally, I don't understand. And being someone who is very curious, you know how curious I am. I can be so curious, like asking my teacher, my mathematics teacher, I say, teacher, there are some of the mathematics formula that you teach us. I just want to ask you, this is during when I was primary school, I just want to ask you, are we going to use all the things that you teach us in mathematics? So my teacher is being very honest. I still remember her name because her surname is the same with me, Wong. One Wong. So one Wong said, no Wei Hong. Because primary school people call me Wei Hong. There's no Firdous during that time. Okay? So she said, no Wei Hong, actually you might use some of it. It depends on the job and the profession that you choose. It depends. But generally, you won't be using everything. And I asked my teacher again. I said, teacher, then why didn't you teach us the thing that we're going to use? And left behind all the things that most of the time we are not going to use. Why waste all the time and give us all the homework that at the end of the day, we can't finish it? Okay? That's how curious I am. So 11 years old, my grandfather passed away. And I start to ask my uncle and my auntie, I said, oh, what are they doing? You know, I'm very curious. What are they doing? So they said, yeah, they are doing this kind of ritual. They are chanting in order for your grandfather to go to paradise. I was like, okay. Because being raised as a Chinese, we watch a lot of Hong Kong movie. Okay, so okay. And we are being raised and being taught about the philosophy of if you are a good person in this world, you will go to paradise. If you are a bad person, you will go to hell. I think common. Reward and punishment, okay, must be there. So I buy into the idea. I have no problem at all in terms of the heaven and hell kind of concept. But then concurrently, while the monk and the scholar is chanting, there is something else that we are doing as well. Concurrently, we are burning some paper. What paper are we burning? Have you guys attended any funeral, the non-Muslim Chinese funeral before? No. We are burning some, we call it as prayer paper, but part of the prayer paper, there is this one piece of paper that is called hell bank note. Okay? It's the bank of hell. Okay? Bank of hell. And the denominations is not small. I think at least 1 million. Right? At least 1 million. So during that time, I don't know what is inflation, so I don't know. Okay, 1 million. So I get very curious. Wait. That ritual is basically for my grandfather to go to paradise. Okay, that's cool. But you know, going to paradise, you have everything. Why you need to burn all these things? Because you're not only burning the hell bank notes, you're also burning some car. During the time in the 90s, you're burning Nokia phone 8210, 8250, 3310. Of course, this is something very alien to you guys. Because for you guys, Nokia is like non-existent. You don't even know the brand Nokia. Have you heard about Nokia? Yes. How old are you? Subhanallah. Nokia is the king. Okay, Nokia is the king. We can drive and text our friend. SMS is very expensive during that time, boys. 60 cents per text. So you have to maximize and full. Not like today. Okay, no. You have to maximize. You have to say everything. You have to write everything in one text because it costs you 60 cents. Okay, very expensive. So they are burning all those kind of things. So my challenge during that time was, why are they burning hell bank notes? When going to paradise, you have everything, but You are not going to paradise by using hellbent words. Just like if you're going to US, you are not going to change into a different currency. So I start to ask again, I say, okay, that ritual is for grandfather to go to paradise. For who? There's only one. Oh, well, just in case if your grandfather cannot make it to paradise, if he go to hell, he can use all these things. They answer with conviction and confidence. But for me personally, during that time, I get further into confusions. Reason being, I was like, wait. Meaning that, this is what I told her, meaning that if you cannot make it to paradise, which you can enjoy, then even when you go to hell, you still can enjoy, right? They said, yeah. I said, I have some problem over there. My problem is, don't you guys teach us that if you have to become a good person in this world so you can go to paradise? If you cheat, you lie, you steal, you do all the bad things, you will go to hell and you will be punished. And in the Chinese mythology, you have 18 levels of hell. Okay, in Cantonese they say Sapat Chang Teo. Anyone of you understand Cantonese? Yeah? No subtitle. 18 levels of hell. 18 levels is for punishment. So when they said for punishment, so I said, how do you reconcile? Being like 11 years old boy, how do you reconcile? Now, then they say, well, we just follow. People have been practicing very long time, so we just follow. Of course, during that time, I'm not so good in history. When they say this has been practiced years by years, this is the practice of a Chinese. Last time I don't know, but now I know. When was paper being invented? When paper was being invented? 1,000 years, around 1,000 years, right? But Chinese civilization is 5,000 years. So what do they burn in the 5,000 years? The 4,000 years before? There's no paper for them to burn. There's no paper for them to burn. Last time I don't know. If I know, I'm going to ask them. I will argue because I like to argue. I like to argue to find the truth, not just for the sake of argument. No. Then they say, no, this has been done by our ancestor, So people do, we just do. I think I have another problem with that concept. Because you guys are the one who told me that you should not do something just because other people ask you to do or just because some other people are doing. Correct? Don't do it because other people are doing or people ask you to do. You must know the reason why you do that. So they say, just follow. They raise their voice. Just follow. Don't ask. Do you think I ask any further questions? No, I don't. Not because I got the right answer, but because I'm afraid the next person who will be in the coffin will be me. Okay? I don't want to ask. And brothers and sisters, those of you who are born as a Muslim especially, you have this dilemma as well. But sometimes when you were young as a Muslim boys, Muslim girls, you have certain questions that you are curious about. Not because you want to challenge, but you just want to find out. But unfortunately, sometimes you went back to your parents that you believe can give you a good answer, and your parents will just shut you off and say, go and ask your Ustadh, go and ask your Ustadh. And then when you go to your Ustadh and Ustadh, why are you asking this question? Are you going to Murtad? What do you mean? When I just became Muslim, my first question was, Ustadh, you say that the Quran talk about everything's right. Everything's right. Everything's right. I qualified myself 3 times. He said, yeah, everything. Okay, Ustadh, I would like to know. Did the Quran talk about dinosaur? No, that is me. Even, you see, some people think that just because I have become a Muslim, so therefore I won't ask. No. Part of being a Muslim is that I have to keep on asking and asking and asking to get the right question. Okay? I have to, first and foremost, I have to ask the right question. So you guys are struggling, and I believe some of you, up until today, you might still have the question that you have when you were young that is still unanswered today. And sometimes it comes back to you. How if, what if, how if I want to ask my parents, better not, just give it to myself. Do you want to become Bani Israel? That is what they will ask you. Now, I just continue to practice as a Buddhist, but I'm knowing nothing. I just know how to practice. And then, when after graduating from high school at the age of 17, 18, I become a free thinker. Can you guys differentiate what is free thinker? There's a difference between free thinker and atheist. Atheist is someone who claim that they don't believe in God. But for me as a free thinker means I believe in God, but what? But I believe in God, okay? But I'm not affiliated with any religion. I'm just free because for me, part and parcel of me, I'm talking about me, I'm not representing all the Chinese, I'm talking about me, in my environment. Religions are only important on the first day and the 15 days, where you will have like certain ritual or certain time of the year, certain time of the month where you have certain ritual. But other than that, religion play not much in your life. You do as you like, and that's it. Maybe because I didn't learn, so therefore I didn't know about that. So for a Chinese, sometimes religion is not that very important. So for me, religion is not very important. And there is a research. There's research being done in another university in Malaysia, University of Malaya. They say that when the Chinese deal with religion, if their lifestyle contradicts with religion, they will change. They will not follow the religion and follow their lifestyle. I give you some example. Some people get angry with me when I say this, but I stand to be corrected. I stand to be corrected. In Buddhism, sometimes this is very funny for me, because when I was a Buddhist, I don't know about all these things. So after I became Muslim, only I studied about Buddhism. Weird, right? Only after I became Muslim, only I studied about Buddhism. And in Buddhism, you have like 5 precepts: do not kill, do not lie, do not steal, do not misuse sex, and do not consume alcohol. Okay? How many of you first time hearing this? Okay, many of you. Okay. So do not kill, do not lie, do not steal, do not misuse sex, do not consume alcohol. That is the 5 precepts. What does for us as a Chinese, even when we were very young, 10, 11, or even 9, even during Chinese New Year, what do we drink? There is a drink called, it tastes like a lemonade. It's called Shandy. Then you know about that. Shandy. Or now they have another brand called Jolly Shandy. Well, it seems like very fun, right? Jolly Shandy. But you know what? There is alcohol in it. So we have tested alcohol even when we were very young. But without knowing it that as a Buddhist, I'm not supposed to drink. I'm not supposed to drink. Of course, some Buddhists get very angry with me. How can you misquote us? I say, I didn't misquote you. There is this master from Taiwan called Master Xing Yan. She say that for a Buddhist, you're not supposed to take even a single drop of alcohol. Not what I say, this is what she said. But, well, you still have a lot of Buddhists who take alcohol, but that is their choice. I'm not going to interfere with that. Lakum dinukum waliyadin, for you your religion, for me my religion. I'm not here to condemn anyone, I'm here to share my experience and to share with you the topic, which is the purpose of life. Now, I'm a free thinker, so I'm not affiliated with any religion. But even though I'm a free thinker, I believe in God. But, like I mentioned yesterday, remember the analogy that I gave yesterday? What is this? Yes, no. Before I say this is a water bottle, what do I say yesterday? This is a... Yeah, the sister. No wonder the sister always have a better grade. Because the brother, physically they are here, spiritually they are somewhere else. Subhanallah. Yes, I say, how if I were to tell you guys that, hey boys, girls, this is a power bank. And you guys will say, no bro, this is a water bottle. Okay, but the thing is that how do you know this is a water bottle and not a power bank? Is it true that in order for you to say that this is a water bottle and not a power bank, you must know what is a water bottle and you must know what is power bank? Yes or no? If you do not know what is water bottle, you can deny this is a power bank because you know what is power bank, but you cannot say this is exactly a water bottle. Am I going too philosophical? Hopefully not. Because I try to make sense to you guys that I am a free thinker. Remember the thought process that I shared just now? I want to think about religion, but I know there is a God, but I just cannot accept anything during that time. I just cannot accept anything that people claim as God to be God. I can't. Just like just now, remember, I give you the two stories. The first story is that there is a memo A, B, C, I, and then there are a group of people who come here and give you different instructions, right? Should I follow each and every one of them? Then my life will become a chaos. Likewise, for me personally, I believe there is a God, but I just don't know who is the God. But for me, deep in me, I say, because for a Chinese, we have exposed to a lot of gods. Okay? And the gods fighting in the heaven. Right? You watch this movie? No? Oh, mashallah. University of Nottingham students don't watch movie. Very good. I like it. Okay? Very good. Okay, so sorry. But anyhow, we'll still talk about movie. We are exposed to a lot of gods. And all the gods are Chinese speaking. Okay? And look Chinese, fair skin. And interestingly is that most of the gods, they have beard. Okay, most of the gods, they have beard. For me, during that time, although being a free thinker, I say, I believe there is a God. Again, please correct me if you disagree. This is my principle that I'm holding on. If you think this is illogical, this is irrational, please correct me. I believe there is a God. But I do not believe God is a human. Neither I believe that human can become God. Why? Because I say, if let's say God is human and human can become God, then what is the need for me to worship God today? Because after I die, I could become God too. I could become God too. And my dear brother and sister, I know some of you might think, oh, this is a bit sensitive. No, I'm just sharing my experience. No one can deny my experience. This is to share the topic of the purpose of life. You know, there are few of the very interesting story. There are few of the interesting story. One of it is that I have a conversation with my friend. During that time, I'm still a non-Muslim. Okay? So I asked my friend, hey bro, is this God or human? I'm showing to the gods that they worship. I'm asking. During the time, I'm a non-Muslim. So they say, oh, he is a God. I say, but he's a human, right? Yeah, he's a human, but also God. So I say, okay, fine. Since when he become God? I have a lot of questions. Since when he become God? He said, did he become God when he was alive, or he become God after he died? Then he said, no. Obviously, then he told me, no, obviously he is not God when he was alive. How can God die, right? He only become God after he died. Okay, then I say, so meaning that while he is alive, he didn't know that he is God. He said, yeah, he is not God. Okay, so he become God after he died. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I say, who raised him to become God? Who promoted him to become God? And he said, well, people look back into his life history and people look at him and say, well, this is a righteous man. This is a good man, you know. Then raise him up and worship him to get closer to God. Then I say, bro, I give an example. If let's say I promoted you as the CEO of my company, who is more powerful, me or him? Me or him? Who is more powerful, me or him? I promoted him to become a CEO of my company, so who is more powerful? You more powerful? You serious? You know the organization structure? You know what, brother and sister? If you have the power to promote someone, meaning you also have the power to fire someone. And the one who are being promoted always are the one who are being lower ranked than the one who make the decision to promote someone. True? Yeah. If I have the right to promote you, I have the authority to promote you, meaning who is more powerful in terms of position? Me or him? You. Me, obviously. So I asked him, now, you say people promoted him to become God. So I say, why don't you worship the person who promoted him to become God? Because it seems like the person who can promote God is more God. Does it make sense to you? Yes. So he said, I also don't know. So can I ask her, don't think, you know? Because Chinese, I will give you some Chinese saying, and of course I will give you translation. Okay? The Chinese saying, 你信就有，唔信就冇. Anyone can repeat? Of course, except that unless you're Chinese, you are not allowed to repeat, okay? Because you can speak it. 你信就有，唔信就冇. Can anyone repeat? The only thing, 信就唔信就冇. Meaning is, if you believe there is one, there is one. If you don't believe one, there is none. Okay? So my friend said, don't ask. So for me, I continue with my life. Now, brother and sister, I am a very stubborn person. After I graduated from my high school, okay, for Muslim, we pray 5 times a day. And for your information, I'm not saying that I'm proud, but this is my journey. What in a week, mandatory for me to go for clubbing, mandatory, okay, is 3 times a week. Mandatory. I'm not talking about tahajjud, qiyamullah, duha. Okay? Sometimes in a week, I can go for consecutive 7 days. So I'm a clubbers. Until we set up an official club called Clubster. You see how much I love to go to clubbing, called Clubster. Okay? Now, I still have one of my emails called Clubster actually. That was like 20 years ago. And my friends don't know how to go clubbing because I've joined my friends which is older than me. So I invite my younger friend who is the same age with me. I bring them to club. They have no idea what is clubbing. They don't know what is bouncer. They don't know the entrance fee. So I said, now let me show you guys. I'm the one who bring them there. So my life is a lot about enjoying, going to club, football, work, and I keep on changing my job. Okay? I have no purpose yet. My purpose is what? My purpose is about enjoyment. The fulfillment. I do what I like, just to make myself happy. But you know what? Let's think about this. Why do I need to go? Why do I need to go so often to club where I have to fork out money? And then, if you drink a lot, you will get headache. You are not enjoying. You are suffering. Why do I pay? Well, because the enjoyment and the sensations of the enjoyment didn't last long. So therefore, I have to go again and again and again and again and again and again and again. But I still feel like there's something that is no fulfillment in it. But I just don't know what. I continue and live that kind of lifestyle. When I say I'm stubborn, brother and sister, why do I say I'm stubborn? My mom gave me an advice. She said, okay, since now it's 11 o'clock, please don't come back too late. Please come back early. As a good son, should I come back early? Yes, I do. I come back early morning. 6 o'clock. Yeah, early. Of course, my mom asked me, hey, I asked you not to come back late. Why you come back so late? I said, Mom, if you come back at 2, 3 o'clock, that is late. That is late night. 5, 6 o'clock is early morning. So it's early. You see, my way of arguing, right? Again, being stubborn again, is that I have this kind of attitude where if I know that is the right things to do, I will do it regardless how many people object to it. But of course, I will own up to my own mistake. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I will take the responsibility. I say I have no purpose in life. My purpose in life is just about enjoying. And a lot of people today, their purpose of life is about enjoying. That's why you have the terms called YOLO. What is YOLO? You only live once. You also have hedonism, right? Hedonism is just about fulfilling your desire. Well, if you desire it, just own it, just buy it. If you think you want to do it, just do it. Don't think about the consequences because you only live once. Well, that kind of sensations, that kind of feeling don't last forever. Now, back to 2005. Fast forward to 2005. 2005, while on a football match, I got injured. I was being terminated by my company. I cannot go to work for around 2-3 months or so. And then I got a job offer to go to migrate to another state in Malaysia called Sarawak, Kuching, Sarawak. And for your information, guys, Kuching, Sarawak is not like in KL. Because in KL, if you just go to the city center, you can see all the clubs there. You can see all the clubs there, okay? But when you go to Sarawak, there is still club, but the club is smaller and it's a bit further. And Sarawak have the biggest roundabout out of all Malaysia. You guys know about that? You know, the roundabout in Sarawak, in Kuching, okay, you can build the entire, you can build like 40 house, 50 house there. The roundabout is so big because they have lots of land. Okay? So when I went there, I got scared. I was being promised a certain income, certain salary, but I didn't get anything. So I was in the office. Office is my office. That office is also my house. That office is also where I shower. That office is also the place where I cook. How do I cook? Use rice cooker. I cook rice with rice cooker. I cook egg with rice cooker. Everything I cook with rice cooker. Survival of the fittest. But then because of that, I have that moment in Kuching where I start to ask myself, remember yesterday I said that the three main questions, why society need religion, where I'm coming from, why I'm here, and where I'm going. So during that time, in order for me to know this answer, I know I'm going to die. I'm just not prepared to die, not because I reject the fact that I'm going to die. Remember yesterday I said, we are not afraid of dying. What we're afraid of is what's going to happen after we die. We are not afraid of darkness. What we are afraid of is merely we do not know what is there behind the darkness. If you know what exactly in the darkness, you will not be afraid. You know, I have 4 kids. The last one, she can just hide in a cupboard for hours, all alone. Okay, my last daughter, she's 8 years old. She can hide in a cupboard that is so dark, no light. She can just hide there for 1 hour, and she can just go to a place which is very dark, and she can just come back just like that. And she has no fear. You know why? Because she's not being exposed to the idea of ghosts. And because she's in the house, so she knows all the things in the house, and she has no idea about ghosts. So she's not afraid to go to the place which is dark. Why today we are afraid to go to the place which is dark? Why? Because you watch a lot of ghost movies, right? Although some of you seems like not interested in movie, but it's okay. Because you watch a lot of ghost movies. Now, because I'm lonely in Kuching, Sarawak, I start to ask myself this question. Hey, what is the purpose of my life? You know, I've been enjoying for the past 4 or 5 years, all up, just all up. Yes, I'm still very young. During the time I was like 22. I have enjoyed my life to the fullest. I can say to the fullest. Okay? You know, I can gamble for 24 hours, not eating anything and drinking everything. And then when I reach home, I vomit. Without realizing that, oh man, I didn't drink and eat for 24 hours. Because getting too preoccupied with gambling. That is before Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is the time where we're going to gather together and gamble. Okay? And during that time in Kuching, Sarawak, I start to ask myself, what is the purpose of my life? Remember yesterday also I said that there is a moment in our life, in most of our life, we will have these questions about where are we coming from, why we are here, and where we are going. The challenge is, either do you take any further actions after you have this question? Some people will just rubbish off. Not important. Later lah. After I get older, then only I think about it lah. Well, when you think about it, brother and sister, who promised you that you will live until old age? A lot of people give a condition that, okay, later, tomorrow, or maybe when I was 60, who tell you that you will live until 60? Who told you? Who promised you? There's no promise. Check your Google calendar, please. Check your phone calendar. Do you have any appointment with the angel of death? No, right? When you have no appointment with the angel of death, because they make no appointment with you, they will just come, just like a robber. They will not just come, Assalamualaikum ya Habibi. How are you? Inshallah, tonight, 2:45 a.m., I'm going to come to your house, okay? Yeah. Will any robber do that? I'm not saying the angels of death are robbers. No. There are no appointment for something. That's why they call it sudden death. It's sudden death. A lot of people just die in the sleep. Well, you thought you're going to wake up. Yeah, inshallah, tomorrow the sun will rise, but nobody promised you that you will wake up. from your back. You keep on delaying. So I ask myself, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose? I don't know. I see a lot of people just live the life that they want. I see Muslim pray. I see Muslim have a different lifestyle. I see Christian have a different lifestyle. The Buddhists have a different lifestyle. The Hindu have a different lifestyle. And they pray to different things. But for me, the first thing in order for me, the purpose of my life, I must know who created me. Who is the God? But since, brother and sister, remember, I already said that I believe there is a God, but God is not a human being, and human being cannot become God. That is my idea. So during that time, to be fair and to be very honest, I have rejected most of the religion in Malaysia, except Islam. But I didn't become Muslim immediately, even during that time. Why? In Malaysia, there is a stereotype where if a Malay, the religion is Islam. Chinese, Buddhist. Indian, Hindu. So each race, there is a assigned religion for them. You can only follow that religion that belongs to the race. True? Right? Now, so for me, Islam is a very exclusive religion because I have a lot of Muslim friends, and my Muslim friends didn't talk to me about Islam. They will always say, are you China? Are you China? Okay, I know I'm a Chinese, so you don't have to repeat so many times. Are you China? Okay, fine. So what's up? Okay, this is a Malay religion. We are Chinese. We celebrate Chinese New Year. I do celebrate Idul Fitri. I do celebrate Diwali. I am a Chinese. The way I dress is very Chinese. I go to school with a short pant. Okay. They go to school with long pants. Okay. They wear songkok. In the 90s, I can't even touch their songkok. If I touch their songkok, they will swear at me. Yeah, they will swear at me. Oh, you don't play with my songkok. I said, come on, it's just like a cap. Why I can't touch? You don't touch. You China. Chinese cannot touch songkok. Okay, no problem. So I never considered Islam as a religion. And for me, a religion is not the most important thing. I am not looking for religion. What I'm looking for? I'm looking for the God who have created me. I want to know who created me. Because I don't know whether I'm going to die. I remember during Q&A yesterday, I said that some of you asked me the 3 reasons why I believe in God, right? The top one is that because my fear of being thrown into hellfire are far greater than my desire to go to paradise. I'm afraid. I have fear. I know there is a concept in today's world where they call it as spiritual, but not religious. For them, it's only about love. It's not about fear. There is no fear. You should not do something out of fear. You should do something because you love it, not because you're afraid of it, not because you're afraid of something. That concept itself is against psychology, and I understand that you guys have psychology here. And human psychology, you always have towards something and getting away from something. It's against it. So I'm looking for the God. And since I already rejected most of the religion, and the only option that I have during that time is only Islam, but I still cannot accept Islam because for me, Islam is very exclusive to the Malay. And guys, I have no idea about, I know what is 9/11 because when 9/11 happened, I was sitting in the mama with my friend, okay? And I was watching live. I was sitting with my friends in the mama, and then I saw on the TV screen, a plane crashed into a building. I don't know, I thought, oh wow, there's a new movie. Oh. But then breaking news. Oh well, movie is not breaking news, right? So it's about breaking news. And then I start to, no, this is not breaking news, 9/11. And although during that time, Muslim has been labeled as terrorists, I don't have that kind of idea. I don't have the kind of idea that Muslims are terrorists. Let me tell you why. Because if I were to say Muslims are terrorists because of the act of certain people, again, I am not saying this because I'm a Muslim today. I am saying based on what I feel during that time. Because if I were to say Muslims are terrorists because of the act of a few people who smashed the planes into WTC, and therefore you have 9/11, then how about a group of Buddhists in Japan, Aum Shinrikyo, who killed themselves with jet sarin? How about a group of Hindu? How about a group of Tamilan in Sri Lanka? Can I blame everyone? I say, no, I can't. I have to be fair. You know, if Muslims are really terrorists, I should die by now. I should die by now. Because I have a lot of Muslim friends. None of them kill me. None of them kill me. So, me being me and being rational, I say, no. I'm not afraid of that. It's just an individual issue. And I don't know about political during that time. So, I have no choice but to ask a Muslim. And my first question is, I need to find who is my God. I'm not looking for religion. Then I ask a friend, and I ask, hey bro, you Malay, what do you worship? Because for the Chinese, when we worship, there is something in front of us. The idol, the statue, there's something in front of us. You Malay, what do you worship? So my friend said, oh, we worship God. And I have a very funny idea about who is Allah during that time. This is not blasphemy, I'm just sharing you my thought. In Malaysia, when the azan in national TV, you have Allahu Akbar, right? And then what is the subtitle? Of course, those of you who can read Malay. What did they write there? No. What did they write? Allah Maha Besar. Okay? Can you translate Allah Maha Besar in English in literal? So they can understand. Literal. Allah is bigger. Allah Maha Besar. Because when the azan, Allahu Akbar, underneath there is a subtitle, Allah is bigger. For me as a Chinese, when I see that, oh, the Malay God is bigger than ours. The Malay God is bigger than ours. I don't understand the concept of God, of Islam. I don't know. So I asked my friend, hey bro, when the Chinese is worshipping, there is something in front. What do you guys worship? They say, and my friend said, oh, we worship God. I said, God? I didn't see any God. Where's your God? Then my friend said, well, we worship God, but we are worshiping this. We are worshiping this God that you cannot see him. You can't see him, but he exists. I said, bro, what are you talking about? Seeing is believing. If you can't see it, how can you believe it? I said, please, make some sense. He said, no. Wong. Okay? There are things that exist, but you can't see. I said, what do you mean? You must believe in something that you can see. If you cannot see, it just merely didn't exist. Then he asked me a question. Well, do you feel the wind? I said, yeah, I feel the wind. Can you see the wind? I said, yeah. See the tree are moving, the branch are moving. I can see the wind. And then he told me, no. What you can see is not the wind itself. That is the manifestations of the wind. It's not the wind itself. And then from there, I stopped and paused and I pondered. Okay. True. You see, brother and sister, there is a difference between either you are sincere to look for answer or you just asking question to look for a fight. Okay, there is a difference. If you're really sincere of asking a question, looking for an answer, when the answer makes sense, you will automatically feel, okay. It's like, although sometimes you do not your head, you will like, okay, he or she got me. Right? You will not say it out, but you will like, okay. Yeah. Then I pause for a while and then he continued and said, now, Wong, just imagine. The wind are being created by God. But yet, you cannot see the wind. You can feel the wind and you can see the effect of the blowing of the wind, but you can't see the wind. Then what makes you think you can see the God that created the wind and this entire universe? He exists. You believe that He exists and you can see the manifestations of His power, of His creation through this universe. Sorry, I might disappoint you. I'm never a believer of this universe come in by accident. Because for me, I've saw few accidents in my life and I get involved and helping people. I never see any accident make things, accidents always break things. Okay? You just don't have one Ferrari and one Lamborghini at 180 kilometers per hour, top speed, beep, boom. And then 1 hour later, you have a brand new Proton Saga. I never know this kind of thing exists. So for me, that doesn't make sense. If anyone would say that this universe come by accident, I say, your existence itself is not by accident. Your existence itself is not by accident. Okay? Then I start to ponder. I said, true. And I say, okay. I'm not sure either you guys have this kind of feeling before, where when you're looking for a certain answer, and when you got the answer, you feel like, in your heart, it's like, yes, this is the thing that I'm looking for. I got the answer. Yes. It's like, you see, sometimes some people, when they get something and they find the right answer, they don't get anything in material, but they were like jumping up and go, yes. Why they're so happy? Because they get what they want, they get the answer. But this time, I'm not jumping around like a monkey because I cannot show my weaknesses, because I have not submit, because I still have the kind of arrogance that, no. I have to show my macho-ness that, no. But in my heart, it's like, okay, quite true. Okay, thank you. Now, sounds good. But then what I was thinking of, okay, I think this God is the God that I believe is logical. But then what happened is, during that moment is where I have two Malay friends, one boy, one male, one female, both are Muslim. At night, they invite me to go out for a drink. I said, I have no money. I said, no, we buy you a drink. So when I go home into the car, I got surprised when I look behind. Not because there's a ghost, because this lady's friends of mine, in the morning, I never saw her not wearing hijab, okay? So that night, she's not wearing hijab. But I have that kind of good thought. I said, okay, maybe, she washed her hijab and it's not yet dry. So I'm fine with that. So I thought they were going to bring me to Mama. But then they end up in the pub. Okay, nothing wrong. If you want to go to pub, you might want to enjoy music during that time. I'm a non-Muslim. So they say, okay, Wong, you sit here, okay, you sit here. So they go to the counter and they order a drink, and they just put, they put bottles of beer on the table. Hey, you all Malay cannot drink. Why are you buying me drink? No problem. Can. During that time, I was like, hey, I'm a non-Muslim. I didn't even buy you a beer. And you as a Muslim, you buy me a beer. And during that time, I was like questioning God, hey God, when the time that I already get the answer that you are the God, and now you're sending me these two monkeys to me. As if, what you want me to do? I got some conflict in me. That how can this Muslim cannot drink beer, but now they're buying me beer? So this God, what he want me to do? He want to confuse me or what? Or he really want to test, how much I love him or love, like you guys, if your guys are married, right? Sometimes your spouse will test you, either you love them or not. Okay? Now, what happened after that is that, after a few weeks, I start to self-talk. How many of you have a self-talk a lot of time? You have a lot of self-talk. Yeah, I talk to myself. Wait. When 9/11 happened, I say I don't blame Islam as a religion. I don't blame Buddhism as a religion. I don't blame Hinduism as a religion because of the actions of a group of people who claim to represent the religion. Then, if that kind of big incident also, I didn't blame that religion. Why? Because of these two little monkeys. Then, I should stop myself from worshipping this God that I believe is the real God. Do I want to worship him because of somebody else, or because I believe that he's the real God? He's the real deal. So I said, no, I'm not doing this because of other people. I'm doing this because I know he's real. This is the real God. I don't care. So, 10 August 2005, I became Muslim. But I haven't answered the question, the purpose of life. Authority. I know this is a God. So now I need to know what he want me to do. Brothers and sisters, after I became Muslim, remember just I said that my friends, my clubbing friends, I'm the one who bring them there. Now, the Ayan, the head of the gang, have repented. So they are like clueless. So they still invite me and they say, hey, bro, let's go for clubbing. I say, no, I'm already a Muslim. I don't want to go for clubbing. I repent, I don't want to go for clubbing. And they said, hey, during that time, I have no beard. So they said, hey, even if you go into the club, nobody know that you are Muslim. You know, you don't say, I don't say, you don't tell, I don't tell, you drink and nobody know, no problem. I said, cannot, bro. I still try to be nice. I said, cannot, bro. Because, you know, I don't ask people to respect my choice. Okay? I have to respect the decision that I have made, which is to become a Muslim. And since Islam say I cannot do this, then I don't want to do it. Okay? I'm not asking you and I'm not demanding you to respect my decision. No. But I have to respect myself. I have to respect the decision. So, and then they start to threaten me. They make a wrong move. Yes, wrong move. I told you, I'm very stubborn. I don't mind to lose them when they threaten me. When they say, okay lah, if like that, then, you know, very childish. We are no longer friends. Okay? We are no longer friends. Okay? I say, well, with a friend like you, I don't need any enemy. You can get lost. Yeah, I lost a lot of friends just in one day because of that. We don't really communicate, we don't really see each other, and I don't even save their numbers anymore. Why? Because for me, when I find the purpose, and what is the purpose of life, brother and sister? When we are looking for purpose of life, you should not look at something which is easy. Just because it's easy, it suits into your lifestyle, therefore you are following that purpose. No, just like when I mentioned about 150 people are being scammed, 830 million. Why? Not all investment are investment. Just imagine they lost their saving, their life saving, in which maybe inshallah they can get it back, it's just a money. But how if you invest in this life with a wrong purpose and end up you are not going anywhere. So for me, brother and sister, in order for us to find a purpose in life, you are not looking for something which is easy. And I don't mind to tell you very straightforward. The purpose of life is about what Allah says. Sorry to jump to the conclusion, but the purpose of life is what Allah says. I hope that you guys will give me a good question, inshallah. Surah Al-Zariyat, chapter 51, verse number 56. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَانَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created you except to worship me. But before that, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verse 115, Allah asked a rhetoric question. Allah asked, do you think that I created you just for amusement, just for entertainment, just to play, just to eat, just to drink, just to have fun, and then you die? And then you think you want to go to paradise? Just like that? If you have that kind of thought, brother and sister, I'm so sorry to disappoint you again. That if you have that kind of thinking that you do whatever you like, hoping that you will get the paradise at the end of the day, as if you work in the company that I mentioned just now, you do what you like without fulfilling the job scope, and then you're expecting your boss to pay you salary at the end of the month. It will not happen. I think you will not even survive half of the month. Why? Because you have to do what is right, what they want you to do, what they have hired you for. Likewise, when we are talking about worshiping, a lot of people have this idea. I went to Peru, I went to Colombia, I went to Africa. When I ask non-Muslim, some of them, when I say, okay, you know what is worship? Oh yeah, I know worship is just a 5-time prayer for the Muslim. I say, no. I say, when we say the purpose of life is about worshiping God means you live your life according to how God wants you to live, not the way you want to live. Sometimes people say, just be yourself, right? I disagree. It's a hanging statement. It is not about be yourself. I will always add on to be yourself the way Allah wants you to be, not the way you want to be. Because sometimes what you want to be might not be true, might not be correct. And worship is like studying. Is it worship? You study mathematics, you study English, is it worship? You guys are looking at me again.
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. When you are driving, when you are sleeping, are you worshipping? If you are eating halal, you are worshipping God. Because why you are eating halal and not eating haram? Reason being is that you know that it's haram because God tell you that is haram, so therefore you do one. By you listening to God, you're abstaining from things that He make it haram, you are worshipping God. Every aspect of your life, and you know what? Sometimes it's a bit difficult to express that People might say you need religion because you are stupid. No, I say no. People need religion and you need to believe in God and you need to worship a God, not because you're stupid, because you are clever, therefore you worship a God. I tell you why. How good is our eyes? We can see a lot of things, right? Okay. We can see a lot of colors. We just switch off all the lights here. We switch off. Okay, an example. If you like, what can you see? What can you see? Can you see anything? But just a moment ago, your eyes, you can see a lot of things, right? A lot of colors, right? Now, this analogy is something that I always give to people, is that to find a purpose in life, you are recognizing there is something higher power. There is a higher power. And your eyes is like your intellect. You think you are clever. But you know what? This intellect has no use when there is no light. And this light is God. This light is religion. Without light, how brilliant your eyes is, you see nothing. You see nothing. And when you find the purpose of life, you will always have the sense of direction. Whatever you do, you are planning towards the end of it to fulfill your purpose in this world. And to worship God is not only about 5-time prayer, Ramadan, pray, fast, no. Every single aspect. Why the Prophet peace be upon him, he said that when you got married, you are perfecting half of your deen, half of your religion. Why? And why the Prophet also say that, the best of charity is the charity that you give to your wife, give to your family. Why? And why the Prophet always also say, and this caught the companion by surprise. When the companion radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with them, they got by surprise when Prophet said, well, even you have relationship with your wife, you will also get reward from Allah. And then the companion caught by surprise. Ya Rasulullah, you mean that even we fulfill our desire, we also get reward from Allah? Because for them, that is like just that fulfillment of your lust, your desire, you will not get anything other than that. But the Prophet said, yeah, just the same way, with the same act, if you do it the haram way, you will commit sin. If you do it the halal way, you will get reward. Even whatever that we do is an ibadah, is the worship of God. So brothers and sisters, to do, and this authority will tell you that if you do this, what you gonna get. If you don't do this, what you gonna get. And always remember, do not only look for something which is easy. My closing remark will be, some Muslims always give, I know maybe some of you have done it before. Sometimes we give a wrong answer to people by saying, the 5-time prayer didn't interrupt with your life. Have you heard about this before? The 5-time prayer is just nice, the Fajr, you wake up for school, to go to work, and then lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and then the 4 o'clock Asar is before you go home, and then Maghrib after you reach home, and then the 8 o'clock one is before you sleep. Right? It's just nice, fit into your life, right? Again, I'm so sorry to disappoint you again. I say that the worship, the 5-time prayers is basically to interrupt with your daily life. Why? Because to see how committed you are. When you are in a relationship, commitment is what is needed. When you are in relationship with Allah, with God, now that is to interrupt how much you want. And also you can always remember and realign back. After a long day, you realign back with God. Interrupt, stop your momentum to remember your purpose in life. It's not about keep on. We have been working, going for meeting for 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, non-stop, just to what? Just to gain more wealth, get more money. But the thing is that when we realign, we remember that God is the one who is the Ar-Razzaq. He is the one who provides. Well, then I should pray to you first. I should ask him for sustenance first, not other people. No, we want love, but we forgot to ask from the one who gives love, Al-Wadud. We want peace, but we forgot to pray to the one that is As-Salam, the giver of peace. How can you have eternal peace when you are not have peace, when you didn't have peace with the Almighty God? So brothers and sisters in Islam and in humanity, you have shown me a few times, I don't want the fourth time. So the floor is yours. This is the uncut version, a bit longer. Please. I think you have Kahoot again. No.
Jazakallah Firdous for the wonderful talk. So we'll move on to the Kahoot session of the event. And Firdous, is there extra rewards for today?
Extra reward? Extra reward? Come on, we get the winner first, then we talk about the extra reward. But there will be definitely a reward, inshallah. Alright, yeah. If I didn't give you guys, he will give you, inshallah. Right? Yeah, he just say it. It's okay.
I'll give us a minute to just set up the quiz. Alright, now you can log in to the quiz. We'll give around 1 minute for everyone to log in into the quiz.
Why am I? There are two. Why am I? There are two. Who am I? What am I? What am I? How am I? What is it? Huh? No, I'm not going to comment. I want to play. I want to win the game. No, you do it. You're doing it. I have no enemy. Wait, imposter. Who is using my name? Imposter.
We'll give 10 more seconds for everyone to join the quiz. Awesome, unicorn. Alright, let's start the quiz then.
Wait.
Purpose of life. Question number 1. What was the moral of the speaker's first story? Look for comfort and ease in life. Search for answers wherever you can find it. Look for authority and follow him, or focus on the dunya and akhirah. The moral of the story was to look for authority and follow it. Am I how? Is on top, followed by me, and who am I? Next question. True or false? Ustadh represented Malaysia in baseball at the international level. 2 more seconds. It's false. He did not represent Malaysia in baseball, he represented them in Malaysia. Or not Malaysia, in football. And the top 4 stays in Arif comes back to the top, or the top 5. Next question, question number 3. What was the topic of yesterday's talk? God, one, none, or many, the purpose of life, how society needs religion, or the society needs religion. This society needs religion was yesterday's topic. And it changes totally. Arif from number 5 goes to number 1. Next question. Double points. What is the moral of the speaker's second story? High return in a small amount of time, live your life with enough risk, look for comfort and ease in life, or how to navigate life as a young person. High return in a small amount of time. Do you agree, Bro Firdous?
You have to watch this. This is not the moral of the story. It's okay.
I'm sorry, guys. And Arif is at the top, but everyone else changes. That's Wong. Is that you, Bro Firdous?
No.
Next question, inshallah. Question number 5. We're halfway there. What is Ustadh's father's occupation? Painter, plumber, carpenter, or electrician?
I feel this, I don't know.
Carpenter. Bro Firdaus's father was a carpenter.
If I feel this, I don't know.
And the top 5 stays the same.
Don't give up, don't give up.
Next question. How many levels of hell are there in Chinese mythology? 16, 18, 20, or 14?
14.
It's 18. 3 people actually believe Ustadh. And let's have a look at the leaderboard. Still the same. Exactly the same. Next question. Question number 7. What is a free thinker? Someone who thinks all the time, someone who thinks without paying, someone who believes in God but doesn't have a religion, or someone who can't think? Someone who believes in God but doesn't have a religion is a free thinker. Who am I? Is at number 2, and Mifa drops to number 3. Question number 8. Danny promotes Firdous to be the CEO of his company. Who has more authority? Firdous, Danny, both of them, all of the above. Danny has more authority, and he promotes him to be the CEO. Leaderboard, please. And Arif comes at the top to the bottom. And who am I? And Mifa move up. Second last question. Marrying fulfills half of your deen or half of your religion. True or false? It's true. Marriage fulfills half of your religion, as the Ustadh mentioned, or as Bro Firdous mentioned. Last look at the leaderboard for the last question. Top 5 stays the same. Best one isn't really the best because it's at number 4. Last question, inshallah. Double points again. I created jinn and mankind only to worship me. Which surah is this found in the Quran? Al-Nahl, Al-Dhariyat, Qaf, or Al-Tur?
We should give them the numbers as well, the number of the surah. So they cannot answer.
The team has to do better. And the answer is Al-Dhariyat. So Al-Dhariyat.
We should give Azariah 14, 15, 16.
Probably a bit too hard for the people. Okay, top 3. At number 3, we have Sophia. At number 2, we have Arif. And at number 1, Who am I?
The sister again.
Yes, probably the sister. Thank you everyone for joining. Ustadh, is there any prizes for the top 3 or is it just the first person?
It seems that you guys love gift, and we love to give gift as well. So inshallah we start the Ramadan with the same gift like yesterday. Okay? Alright. Is it the same winner? Same winner again, subhanallah. So you have to give the shirt to your friend then. You should give the shirt to your friend, okay? Okay? Yeah, she said okay. MashaAllah. Do you practice this at home? You know, they sabotage me. My internet is like extremely slow.
Okay, so the top 3 as usual. So the top 3 as usual.
Yes, you said that.
So guys, the top 3 as usual. The lead sister will get the Dawah t-shirt, which is long sleeve, and then if let's say the brother, hopefully Arif is a man. Inshallah. Who's Arif? Who's Arif? You are not sure either you are man or not. Are you a man? Inshallah. Inshallah. So you will get the Dawah t-shirt as well, and another one is Sophia. Sophia, sorry. So Sophia will get another one as well. Okay, inshallah. But on top of that, we will be giving each of you. What gift do you give for number 1? Do you have anything extra?
And then giving a grab voucher.
Oh, 30 ringgit grab. Okay, grab voucher. MashaAllah. Okay, so for the first one, who am I, right? Okay, you will get 2 books from us. Okay, the number 2 and number 3 will get 1 book each. Yes, but you know what book is that? How is the fortune telling books? What you guess?
I read it.
Huh? Okay, cool. So we didn't know.
Yes. Okay, so next up is the Q&A session. So as always, if you have a question for Bro Firdous, scan the QR code and you can ask the question through the link.
Okay, then you can ask, no problem. We give priority. No problem. This is biased, Chinese. Chinese chronism.
So I wanted to ask, right? So when you convert, because I don't know about other people here, but because I think I'm only non-Muslim here or anyone else, I just want to know when you convert, how do you tell this to your parents? Because you cannot cut your parents off. You can cut your friends off, yes, but you cannot cut your parents off, right? So how does that communication happen? How do they perceive it the first time when they hear it? And how you try to, not convince, but tell them like in a good way. And how is it right now, between the relationship between you and your parents or siblings or whatnot? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I purposely left that part out during my talk, hoping that someone will ask the question. So good. Okay. I purposely left that part out where after I become Muslim, I jumped to my friends. I didn't talk about my parents, right? Not that I put them aside. No, not at all. So to answer Danny's questions, how do I tell my parents and how is their acceptance and how do I convince them, right? Remember I told you guys that I'm a very stubborn person. Now, when I make the decision, what is in my mind is that I'm not seeking their permission. What is in my mind is that I just want to inform them. They're going to accept or not is beyond my control. And in ways, I will never try to allow anything that is beyond my control to control what I can control. Okay? Such as the thing that I want to do. I will never allow that to happen. I will never allow the outcome of other people and the response from other people to control what I'm going to do. But I have to preempt what other people are going to do so that I can prepare as well. So how do I tell them? So the moment that after I make my decision to become a Muslim, I give a call to my mom. I'm closer to my mom. Okay? Of course, I'm close to my dad, but mom. So I call my mom, and I told her, okay, I will be going back to KL in this month, blah blah blah. And then I told her that there are certain things that I want to do, and and then I will no longer be here in Kuching, Sarawak. So she said, okay, good. You know, we wait for you to come back. Good. So I said, yeah, mom, there is another thing that I want to do. So she asked me, what? You know, then I said, I'm also going back there and I'm going to register to be a Muslim. I just tell her straightforward. And then it's not a long pause over there. It's like a few seconds. But you know, when you're waiting for an answer, it's like a very long moment. I say, what happened? You know, did my mom have heart attack? You're afraid because you love your mom. Then she just replied me and say, up to you. Up to you. Okay? It's your decision, it's up to you. But remember, don't play with religion. If you make decision to be a Muslim, then don't play around. Because my mom knows that when I entering something, I will do my best. Either I will be successful or not, I do not know, but I have to do my best. I don't want to live my life with regret. That is my motto of life. That I want to live my life with regret. Everything that I do, I will always do my best. I don't want to look back and say, I should do better. So sorry, there is no that kind of dictionary. So how is the relationship with my father after that? My father don't really care. Okay, I told him, okay, Dad, I become Muslim. You sure? Then my father tell me a secret. You know, last time I also got a Malay girlfriend, you know. I almost married a Malay and become Muslim before you. I said, okay, I didn't know about that. Then my mom also said, I never know about this. How about my siblings, my sister and my brother? For them, they have their own life, I have my own life. We are siblings, we are, to say very close, not but we are close enough, okay? Being a Muslim, it doesn't stop me from treating them good. Then a year later, I got married. I got married at a very young age, alhamdulillah, at the age of 23. I didn't regret, and in fact, I'm so happy that I made the decision to get married early. So those of you who are not married, please perfect your heart in. Okay? Is it for the first 6 years, 2005 to 2011, the only thing that I know about Islam is praying, fasting in the month of Ramadan, but a lot of the halal and haram, I don't know because I never go to them. Okay, people invite me, but I find excuses after excuses not to go. So when 2011 I started to learn, that is when I started to learn, that was like, hey, these are the things that I miss out so much. And then my teacher, Sheikh Husseini, he told me that, you know, you should do da'wah. And then I start to learn more and do da'wah. And then I changed my lifestyle. I never do this to my parents, okay? But what I did after that is, you know, Chinese, do you hug your parents? You do? But generally they don't, right? Generally, no. You don't hug your parents, you don't kiss them, right? So after I learned about Islam, I started to learn since 2011. Then there are changes in me. I start to grow my beard. Not that I go to a hair care center to grow it. Okay, it just come up by itself. Just I didn't shave it. At first, I sent them back after a dinner, and then I came down, and then I went and go and hug them. My father said, "No, why are you hugging me? You know, for men and men, for Chinese, you know, you are gay if you are hugging me. We don't hug each other. No, we don't hug each other. So I want to hug my mom." And my mom said, no, please. You know, why you want to hug me? What? You never hugged me before. You only hugged me when you were young. Why you suddenly want to hug me? And because I'm stronger than her, so I overpower her and hug her. You know, not only that I hug her, I kiss her. First one side. And then after I kiss my mom, I want to go to my dad. My dad said, no, don't come. But then eventually, because I always try to do it, they end up, they succumb to it. It was like, like no feeling. And because of this one side, then I go for another side. So every time I'll go meet them, I will hug them, and then my wife will hug both of them, will kiss them. You know, even my children will hug them and kiss them. It's something that is not common. Okay, it's not common. How was the relationship? And then after 14 years, 2005 until 2019, 14 years, I became Muslim. I've been doing da'wah openly. Since 2011, I've been doing da'wah openly to my parents. been doing da'wah openly to them. I didn't hide. Why? Because I love them. Because I love them. I want them to enter paradise as well, but I cannot force them. And they also know that previously I'm a senior account manager in a public listed company. I'm not doing any accounting. Okay, I'm just an online salesman. Okay, so my clients are Tourism Malaysia, CIMB, Celcom, all this kind of client. I've been inviting them to become a Muslim. I have a lot of dialogue with my parents. Of course, alhamdulillah, my parents are also quite open to talk to me about religion. So I asked my dad about, where are we coming from? I asked him 3 questions. Where are we coming from? What are we doing here? Where are we going after we die? So my father said, okay, we are from the rock, from the stone. The Chinese, the Chinese have this kind of belief that, the origin of human being is from the stone or from the eggs. So I answered him, how can from stone become a human? I said, doesn't make sense. Okay, I don't want to talk about make sense. Okay, even if you say we are coming from stone, not that I agree with you, but for the sake of discussion, I said, okay, fine, no problem. So who created the stone? I just want to know who created the stone. If you say we human beings evolved from apes, okay, I just want to cut the story short. Who created the apes? I don't want to argue about the apes. I don't want to argue about stone. And then my father said, no. And then said, yeah, all religions are the same, Chinese. All religions are the same. I said, Father, if all religions are the same, then you have to become Muslim. Then he asked me, hey, if all religions are the same, why I still have to become Muslim? I said, Father, if what you say is true, that all religions are the same, then, okay, everyone will go to paradise. But how if what you say is wrong, and Islam is the only truth? I give you the math. I do the math for you. If all religions are the same, Buddhists, Hindu, Christians, everyone's going to paradise, true? Right? If I'm talking about for the sake of discussion, right? Now, but how if, according to me as a Muslim, no, Islam is the only truth, Islam is the only way? Now, in this scenario, you have one side that all religions are the same, that everyone going to paradise. On the other hand, Islam say only Islam are the truth. In this situation, for me as a Muslim, how many percent do I have to go to paradise? Percentage-wise? 100%, right? Now, if someone who is a non-Muslim, they believe every religion are the truth, but end up, it is not how many percent they have, how many chances. You remember, Chinese like numbers. So I have to use numbers. How many percent? As a Muslim, how many percent chances that I can go to paradise? 100. For a non-Muslim who believe that all religions are the same?
0.
No, they have 50%. If they say what they say is correct, they can go. But if they say they are wrong, Islam is true, then they are not going. So they have 50-50. So I asked my father, if you are a good businessman, if you have an investment that has 100% guaranteed return, 100% guaranteed profit, and 50-50, or maybe you want to go for a surgery. If the doctor say, oh, sir, you want to go for this surgery, 50-50. And then you go to another hospital and the doctor say, oh, sir, no worry, 100%. Now, of course, there won't be anything 100% in surgery, but you will always go for something which is more convincing, the higher probability, right? So from there, my father didn't really talk a lot. Okay, then yeah. I've been inviting him for years and years. My focus of da'wah is about him. I said, when? So now when I meet him, I will just ask, Father, when? Then let me think about it. Think about it. You've been thinking for 7 years. How many years more? No, give me a few more months. Few months also, you say few more months. No, already few more months. Then, unknowingly, 2019, my mom, she asked me, because she know after Idul Fitri, every year, I will be traveling overseas. So she asked me, so after Idul Fitri, after the Eid, where will you be going? I said, oh yes, I will be going to Africa, I will be going to Australia, I will be going to Hong Kong, I will be going to Saudi Arabia. Out of so many countries that I told her, I only asked her, Mom, do you want to go to Saudi Arabia with me? I'm going for my Umrah. So my mom said, oh yes, oh wow, vacations, right, for her. I said, do you want to go to Saudi Arabia with me? Yeah, I want. Okay, but you know what, Mom, but that place, only Muslim can go. You are not a Muslim, so how? Oh. So she just said, oh. Then I asked her again, and she still, oh. Then after I came back from Melbourne, and then I called her again. I said, Mom, I'm going to Saudi Arabia and early of December. We have like another 1.5 months before early December. I said, do you really want to go with me to Saudi Arabia? And my mom said, yeah, I want to go. So I said, yeah, I told you already, right? That, that place is only for Muslim. If you're not a Muslim, you cannot go. So how? Then she said, okay lah. I said, well, okay. Okay what? Okay to go or not to go? Go. But you have to become Muslim. Okay no. And then I answered, when? Anytime. So on 25th of October 2019, my mom took Shahada. Okay. The Shahada, hundreds of Shahada. Okay. I know what to say after Shahada. Oh yes, welcome, congratulations. Alhamdulillah, all your sins has been erased by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and now Allah replaced all the sins to become a good deed. I know what to say. I'm being, But then after I took my mom Shahada, I just look at her. I don't know what to say. And then my colleague said, then I go and hug her. Of course, then I break down. So alhamdulillah, she became Muslim, and then I fulfilled my promise by bringing her to Umrah. Okay, bringing her to Umrah. And you know what's interesting? My mom has some leg pain, knee pain. And for Umrah, you have to do the tawaf, you have to do the sa'i. The tawaf is that you have to circumambulate the Kaaba, and then you have to go to the sa'i where you have to run and walk. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, I expect some difficulty for her. I even prepared to maybe get a scooter or maybe a wheelchair for her. But what is surprisingly is that throughout the 12 days there, she said she has no leg pain at all. Only when she landed in KLIA after Umrah, she said she started to feel the pain. I said, but why during in Mecca you have no pain? She said, I also don't know. She is the one who dragged my wife, she's the one who dragged my mother-in-law to go, because I bring my mother-in-law as well. She's the one who dragged us for Fajr. She will bring us to the front, when go to this Rauda, she never know where is Rauda. And because there is Rauda, she will just drag anyone and go to Rauda. She has no leg pain during that time. Well, of course, I'm still doing that one to my father, to my sister, and to my brother. I can't force them to become Muslim, but they know I'm doing dawah very open to them. But I told them very clearly, I do all these things not because I hate you guys, but because I love you guys. If you're willing to listen, I'm willing to tell you, to share with you. If you're not willing to listen, I will not force you. But please respect my right, and I know you respect my right, and I respect yours. Okay, but I will still continue to invite you. I even try to invite my nieces and my nephew as well. Okay, and my nephew, when he was a bit younger, he followed us to go for prayer. And even at home, sometimes he will pray alone. But now he don't really because he's growing up a bit. But for me, a da'wah is never ending to my family as well. Yeah. So, hope I answer your question. I didn't cut the ties, alhamdulillah. Okay? Yes, please. Allah.
Alright, thank you, Firdous. And there's another question. When you're a free thinker, how did you decide on Islam other than Christianity?
Okay, when I was a free thinker, how do I decide Islam and not free thinker? I told you guys, when I am a free thinker, I didn't decide on Islam either. Right? I didn't decide on Islam either. I only decided that God is not a human being and a human being cannot become God. Because for me, I cannot accept the fact that human can become God. I can't. Okay? Of course, now I know why. We can have a different topic about fitra, but that's just in me that I cannot accept it. I cannot accept because of the concept that I have that God is not a human being and human being cannot become God. So, in Christianity, with due respect, I watch Hong Kong movies, so I know who is Jesus. So for them, Jesus is God. So again, for me, even during that time, again, remember, I'm not saying that now. Now it's the same, but during that time, I cannot accept someone died as God or God died. No matter what reason you tell me, oh no, but he loved you so much. Of course, I have my, in secondary school, I have few of my friends who converted to Christianity. And of course, after they converted to Christianity, they tried to convert me as well. And I'm open up to talk about religion. But again, I have my conversation with them. And then they say, you have to believe in Jesus. Jesus died for your sin. I say, why he want to die for me? I don't even know him. Why he want to die for me? Yeah, because he loves you, therefore he died for you. He died for your sin. Oh, but then I say, because we are Chinese, right? I'm a Chinese, so I told them, you understand Cantonese, right? Although you cannot speak. Okay. In Chinese, in Cantonese, there is one saying, 一人做事一人當. What is that, bro? Give me the translation. The same thing I used when I was in Hong Kong. 一人做事一人當 in Cantonese means the one who commit the crime should be the one to be responsible for it. So I said, why he want to die for my sin? If I'm the one who commit the sin, then I should be the one who pay for it, not her, not him. No, because he loves you. Well, he loves me, but there is not justice, I say. I say, just imagine, I told my friend, just imagine if there's a robbers come to my house and steal something, and then I managed to catch the robber. Okay, I managed to catch the robber. So now, who is the one who committed the crime? Me or him? Or the robber? The robber, right? So I managed to catch him, and I said, hey, you robber, you commit a crime. So please forgive me, please. Now, he's the one who committed the crime. I'm so loving. I want to forgive him. So I said, okay, fine. I am a merciful person. Okay, I give you a chance. In order to forgive you, now, come. Yes, Papa. What, Papa? Just wake up. Son, Daddy want to forgive this uncle because this uncle break into our house. Okay? So in order Daddy to forgive him, Daddy has to kill you, okay? My son will ask me, Daddy, why have I done? You want to forgive him, you forgive him, why to kill him? This is the same thing that I told my friends. I say, if I'm the one who committed the crime, let me die. Let me do it. Let me pay for my crime. So that is the reason, during that time, I already said that I cannot accept human being, any creation to become God. With due respect, that is just how I look at it during that time. Okay?
Thank you, Firdous. Due to the time constrictions we have, that is the last question for tonight.
One more question?
Because we're going to pray Isha.
Okay.
Okay. But would you have time if anyone has any questions personally after the event?
Yeah, can send to me the question forward to me, then inshallah we will get our team also. If I need to answer that, I will give the answer as well, inshallah.
Alright, no problem. What about if anyone wants to have a conversation with you after the talk, after the event?
I have no problem with that. Anyone of you who would like to have a conversation with me or my team can always contact me, inshallah. Contact us as well. Yeah. No problem.
Alright.
I'll give you a number where you guys can contact us. You have wait. I'll give you the numbers. This is our Dawah general numbers. Okay.